Yes, I got another Casio. So yes, I did get another Casio toy keyboard. This will be my fourth Casio keyboard. The first one was an SA-5, which probably was one of my first instruments that I had. I don't really remember if it was before the guitar or after I started playing the guitar, but most of my family members say it was before the guitar. Actually, I had another toy keyboard when I was like not a toddler, but like 5, 6 years, 7. I don't know the exact ages, but yeah, I did have a another toy keyboard that had animal sounds on it. So that was my first toy keyboard. And then maybe I had the harmonium because I was doing vocal lessons, but that's more of a family possession rather than my own. Then the Casio SA-5. This is the Casio keyboard. That was my first Casio keyboard. It's like probably 20 years old right now, and it's dusty because I don't play it very often. Then after that, like I got the SA-35, which you might have seen in many of my Raw Jams videos. Right now it's in the other room. And then if you saw a recent video of mine, I got the PT-20, which is this one. And I got both the SA-35 and this from the same seller. And then he keeps advertising. He just sells Casio keyboards, nothing else. And he sells old stock, but unused, like probably stuff that didn't get sold. Casio keyboards, like they have a mojo, they have a vintage vibe, whereas like, I mean, these two are the big brands, Yamaha and Casio, that make toy keyboards, at least here in India. Those two are the big brands that make toy keyboards, and Yamaha tends to have a more like realistic sound, more fuller sound, but I tend to like the more lo-fi aesthetic of the Casio keyboards. I guess that is my collection that I've been doing, and I prefer to have them small size because firstly space, like this is my big keyboard that I have and it takes quite a lot of space, and so many guitars like sitars, but these toy keyboards are like tiny things, even the stylophone, like which are easy to store, like I can have several of them in a small amount of space, and they're fun to play because it feels like you're really zooming in when you're playing a small instrument. I guess there's also a fascination of playing big instruments like the double bass or something like that, or even the sitar for an acoustic sitar, like is kind of pretty long. So there is a magnificence in that. But then when you're playing something small like a stylophone or a thumb piano, like you're really zooming in, and it feels like it has a different vibe to it. I think it's got a very lo-fi aesthetic to playing small and keyboards especially. So I think I've gotten into a hobby of collecting Casio keyboards. I think that's okay. That's an okay hobby to have because it's definitely better than collecting Les Pauls. If I had started collecting Les Pauls, I'd probably be on the streets right now, broke and sold everything. And imagine a musician with 10 Les Pauls and no house, no food. All he has is 10 Les Pauls, but it's easier to have 10 Casio keyboards. So anyways, now I'm gonna unbox this thing. So yes, it has come in some sort of a shoebox. As I said, it's not gonna have a Casio branded box. It's wrapped in polythene. Beautiful color. He had one in white and this one, and I said I'm gonna take the red one because I already have the white, the PT-20. Okay, there's an adapter here. very well packed in polythene, especially since now it's the monsoons going on. Like, if it would get stuck in the rain, it would get wet. So, of course, plastic, not good for the environment, but then what else can we do to keep the rains away? Yes, this is it, the Casio SA-1. So he did mention that it doesn't have this battery like cover, and he said, would you want the white instead? No, I'm not gonna sacrifice this color for a battery cover, but it has different sounds compared to the SA5. Like, it has 100 different sounds. I did ask him specifically, is it different? How different is it from the SA5? And he said the sounds are all different. And we will be testing it out on the computer table itself today so that I can plug it into the interface. But what does it have? 100 tones and very nice buttons. Pulse code modulation. So I believe this is samples plus some synthesis and some demo songs, which I don't know. I might be interested or might not. And rhythms. Does it say? Okay, I guess rhythms are here. Rhythms are here. Okay, let's just connect it and we'll test it out. Okay, so I've set it up here. There was a bit of stretch from the power adapter where my power connection is to here, and then from going from here with this tiny wire, a 3.5 going into, and then on my interface I've got a converter, and I'm gonna turn it on. So the moment of truth. There's no sound. Okay, let's check if it works without the connection. It does. You probably can't hear it, but let's put this in again. I think the cable was not fully in. I think I need another aux cable. Let me get another aux cable. Okay, now I am seeing like a signal on the door. So looks like the cable where we put the 3.5 is a little wonky, but this keyboard is from 1989. Yes, we have sound. We can increase the gain now. So this doesn't sound very different from the SA5's two-note polyphony. So let's check out electric piano. Oh, I love that sound. That doesn't sound like electric piano. Oh, 0. No, I pressed 90. Very Rhodesy. Honky tonk piano. Is it wobbly? It is a little bit wobbly. Harpsichord. We won't be checking all the sounds. We'll just be checking out the first few and then the ones that I'm interested in. This is harpsichord. What are some interesting ones? Let's check out the jazz organ. I'm guessing this will be like a Hammond. Wow, that's a beautiful Hammond sound. With the percussion on. Let's check out the trumpet. Well, I think these are sampled. They sound very much like the real instruments. But it is very ensemble-y, if that makes sense. It sounds like an ensemble. Doesn't sound like a solo trumpet. Tuba. Not too impressed with that. What else do you have? Oboe, 17. What else? Clarinet. This sounds exactly like one of the tones on the PT20, like the flute patch. Can we do mellotron? Strawberry? I've forgotten it. Let me take you. It's not that. No, definitely not that. Okay, but we're trying clarinet, not the flute. Whistle, quena, quena. Okay. Okay, flute. Would that be 23? Now it's got that reverb. It doesn't work for that. Ocarina, bagpipes. Okay, especially now that it's two-note polyphony. Nah, I'm not too impressed. Okay, again, what am I expecting? Now, these words are making me think of the realistic bagpipe sounds, but that's not what we're expecting. Let me reorganize my mind. Synth, banjo. Let's see what the sitar sounds like. 45. That sounds nothing like a sitar. I think the numbers. Am I looking at it wrong? This is banjo. No, so according to them, this is the sitar. Sounds more brassy. What else? Metal, slap bass, warm strings. Let's see how the strings sound. Ground control to major tom. Ground control to major tom. Where are all the world instruments? Because I know it has some world instruments. Just after the sitar. Okay. Harp. Let's see the taishokoto. 48. Taishokoto. Does not remind me. So actually these are the more interesting sounds because it does not remind me of any real world instruments. Let's try. Is there no next button? Does not look like there is. Okay. The shamisen. Nah, it sounds nothing like the shamisen. I think they haven't quite got back in 1989, they hadn't quite got how to get stringed instrument sounds. Let's see what the guitar sounds like if that's the case. Mute guitar, electric guitar. Is there no regular guitar? Okay, let's see electric guitar, 35. Yeah, it doesn't sound like an electric guitar. It sounds very much like a DX7 synth. Synth piano. Okay, now these might be interesting. Piano? Synth piano? Synth celeste, synth clavi, synth accordion, synth brass, synth reed. Let's see synth lead. Vibrato. Wall voice. Is it the same as the other one on the Casio SA-1? Yes, it's the same. But it seems to have a bit of more of a bend here. Cathedral. Let's see what a cathedral sounds like. This is a church organ. Oh my god, the reverb. Let's see what pop lead sounds like. A very synth lead. What else? Okay, now the SFX. Let's see what ambulance sounds like. It's the same as the other one. Insect 72. Which insect sounds like that? Which insect sounds like that? Gamelan. Wow, they have a gamelan here. 84. Wow, pretty convincing. Native Instruments, you have a competitor here. It almost sounds like it's microtonal. Is this Pelog? I mean, highly unlikely. What else do we have? Ethnic percussion, 86. That's not percussion. Oh, it's 87. That's also not percussion. What is Matsuri? 89. Wow, this is gonna be so much fun exploring all of these. Taiko. This is like a. It says Wadaiko. It sounds like a taiko. Tom, rock drum. Okay, let's. Drums is something I don't have on most of my keyboards, as in a playable drums. I have drum loops, but no playable drums. That's the kick. Snare. Okay, so this is the kick. Where are the hi-hats? Is this a tambourine? Crash? Okay, so it's just 4 drums. So I guess this is the what they are calling the hi-hat, and this is the. The hi-hat, I don't like the hi-hat. The kick and snare sound really good. Bass piano. Oh, I guess these are double patches. 96. Where's the split? Here's the split on A. So. So we have quite a few. Bass piano, bass trumpet, piano flute, strings, oboe. What's pearl drum? Let's see what is pearl drum. It's on 69. Oh, on the SA-5 we have one tone that's like this same tone, but then it's repeated several times, and then there's a pitch. Oh, with lots of. Okay, let's reset the cameras and we'll put in some effects now. Okay, so let's start with this sound, and then let's add some delay to this. We have tape echo and we have space delay. Let's try tape echo. Let's just use a preset, 2 tapes. Okay, let's try something else. We could try a grain delay from Ableton stock. I think we could use presets. Minor third. Awareness. Let's try the typewriter. Wow, even that sound is cool. So this is without the. It's pitched, but then with the grain delay. Okay, let's try. Let's go first switch. Here's something called sample percussion. Let's try that. This would sound good with a big reverb. So do I have a big reverb? Well, I don't have a dedicated reverb plugin. Oh, I've installed this recently from Space Blender, and I haven't tried it much. Maybe now is the time to try it. Let's try simple tones like, let's try the harp 47. Yes, the possibilities are endless. Hello, editing stage Mams here. After I unpacked it, like it's actually been quite a few months since I got the keyboard, but I have used it. I think you must have seen it in the Fender Studio video. But for this particular video, I made a couple of music for it. You saw one in the intro, and I've made another one in the outro as well, where I've added some instruments and played a solo with one of the presets. All the music is made with that red keyboard, the Casio SA-1. Nowadays, I just call it my red keyboard. So the backing track of that will be available on my Patreon. So if you head on over to the link in the description, you can find all the backing tracks that I've made for all these videos, and lots of demo recordings, lots of outtakes, chords for some of my songs. All of that will be on Patreon just $10 a month. And there, if you just want to support, there's also a lower tier of just $5, for which you can get access to the Sitar Sample Pack Volume 1, as well as the Synthetic India Sample Pack, which is different Indian raga phrases played on different software synths. So for if you just like to support, that's a $5 tier. Please do go and head on over to my Patreon. It helps the channel, it helps everyone, and we've already got one patron now. So Quitchman, our friend of the channel, is now already our first patron. So you can be number 2. Anyways, this is the abrupt end of the video. But if you haven't seen my video on the Casio PT20, it'll show up somewhere over here or here. I always forget which side it is. I think it's this side. It will show up right about now. No? Now. Yeah, I'm standing still, waiting for you to press.